Greetings, friends. Dennis LaRue here, and if you'll notice, unfortunately, I've got a cough drop in my mouth for whatever reason. I just had a huge coughing fit, so forgive me, please. But it is so awesome to see and to be with you again. It's Sunday night, and you know what time it is, those of you that have been here for the last 8 weeks. It is the hashtag steeltoesrequired quote of the week. And for those of you that haven't been here, my name is Dennis LaRue, and I am your transformational change agent, and for this week, your CIO, your Chief Inspiration Officer. Amy, I got that from you, my friend. I appreciate you. Here we go. So what is hashtag steeltoesrequired? It is me sharing a quote that has impacted my life, that'll add value and inspire you, but also it's going to step on your toes. It's going to hurt a little bit. It's going to get you out of your comfort zone. And as a coach, that is what we need. We need to get out of complacency zone. We talked about that last week. If you weren't here last week, check out last week's message. It's still here on Facebook about complacency. This week's is an awesome quote. It is one of my very favorites. And even so, it's on my card. This is a card I send out to people. Amy, you recognize this one, my friend. Here it is. It comes from a track and field icon. Now, I'm a lifelong runner, and this guy right here that I'm going to share this quote from is an icon. And we'll get more into that in a minute. But first, let's get into the quote, and here it is. To give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift. Let me say that again. To give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift. Now that quote comes from the great Steve Prefontaine, known in the running community simply by 3 letters, Pre. I got it from this book right here, Pre, the story of America's greatest running legend, Steve Prefontaine, written by Tom Jordan. Runners, young runners out there, if you have never read this book, you better get this in your library ASAP. This book will impact you. Steve Prefontaine was a huge impact in my life, in my running, especially recently. I mean, kindred spirit. Now, Steve Prefontaine to track is what Muhammad Ali was to boxing, what Michael Jordan was to basketball, and what Michael Jackson is to music. No kidding. That's how important Steve Prefontaine was. He was known for front running. He was known to, as soon as the gun went off on the track, he would go all out and wear everybody out and go from start to finish that way. That's how, and he owned every track and field distance record from 1,500 meters, I believe, all the way up to 10,000 meters, 6 miles. Every record. Now that I'm thinking of it, I don't think anybody else has ever done that. An absolute icon. Anyway, that's enough about Pre. Let's get into the quote. To give anything less. Denise, I see you. I'm glad you're there. Tell Chuck I said hey, and I hope he's watching too. Oh man, I tell you, listen to this. To give anything less than your best. I'm going to ask you 2 coaching questions. The first one's easy. We're going to start with the negative because everybody's going to have answers to this one. What does not giving your best look like? What does not giving your best look like? Can you think of a few? Come on, I don't see any hearts there because I stepped on your toes, because I'm stepping on mine. So here, I'll go first. Here's what it looks like for me. Monday morning, when the alarm goes off, instead of getting up and taking action and getting up and getting ready to start my day, I decide to stay in bed. And I don't get mattress victory. That's right. I don't get mattress victory. I stay in bed. And that puts me behind schedule. And it puts me in a state of rush and hurry and worry. Are you going to get to work on time? That hurts. Amy, thank you. Amy says quitting. That's what it looks like for me. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing, my friend. I appreciate you. And yes, I would love to have a Red Sox hat. We got to get a Red Sox hat on my shelf. Okay, my friend? I love it. You know what else it looks like for me? Here's what else it looks like for me. Not giving my best. It's when I rely on my talent alone. Because you see, I enjoy public speaking, or else I wouldn't be doing this right now. And you know what else I like? I like impromptu public speaking, because 99 people out of 100 do not like impromptu speaking. Most people would rather die than be speaking. So it's easy with that math to rely on talent, because nobody else wants to do what I do. What's it look like to you? What does it look like to you? Tell me. Who else would be willing to share right now what it looks like to you when you're not giving your best? Oh, that's a good one, Amy. When we try to make decisions without leaning on our Heavenly Father. Absolutely. Absolutely. When we take the reins and we go and we do it ourselves. That's a great one. Thank you for sharing that, Amy. Hey, Mackenzie, glad you're there. I hope you're enjoying the book, my friend. All right. Here's the second question. We've talked about the negative. Here's the positive. Now, what does giving your best look like? What does that look like? You need to answer these questions. The first things that come to your mind, write them down. If you got pen and paper, write them down. Or right after this, watch this again and write them down. This is important. What does giving your best look like? Steve Prefontaine's was simple. When he ran in such a way that moved thousands of people in the stands watching. He said his running was like a work of art. And people were moved by it. That's an icon. What does that look like to you? When you're giving your best, what does that look like? And what are people saying to you? How are you feeling about that? Oh, inspiring people, that's my favorite, Amy. It's my superpower. That's my favorite. I love inspiring people. Because you see, here's the reason why it's important to know what your very best looks like. Because if you don't, you're sacrificing the gift. And what is the gift? The gift isn't just what you do or what you bring to the table. It's you. You are the gift. Grow where you're planted. Where are you planted right now? Where are you living? Who's in your family? What about where you work? Whether you own your own business like I do, or you're an employee, you're in the military, what does that look like? Because you see, that you're the gift. And when you don't give your very best, you know what you're saying to everybody in the circles around you? That they aren't worth your best. They're not worth your best. And I don't think you believe that. I don't believe that, and you don't believe that, but it's so subtle, it pops up because we're relying on talent. Because, you know what? I just don't feel like it. There's one right there. I don't feel like it. You know what? Last week I missed a meeting. I had a migraine. But you know what? Could I have gotten up and gone? I should have, yeah. There's one way where I didn't give my best, and it impacts people. So, friends, to give less than your best is to sacrifice the gift. People are worth your best. Your employer is worth your best. Don't be just come into work on time and then clock watching when it's time to go home. Give your best. Give your best in whatever it is you're doing, because there is a reason you are where you are at that moment, at that time of the day, and people around you. And when you give your best, people are attracted to excellence. People are attracted to excellence. And when you give your best, people are attracted to it. And they want to be around excellence. How many of you here say, you know what? I want to be around slackers. Yep, I don't see any love right there. There's no loves, there's no likes, nothing. Nobody does. Why do we go and watch sporting events? Why do we go to concerts? Because we want to be around excellence. Those are people giving their best. And you want to be around the best. So, give your best. Give your best. Because Steve Prefontaine didn't live very long. As a matter of fact, I believe he was 24. Yes, he was. He died May 30th, 1975, at the age of 24 in a car accident. And he never got to achieve the Olympic gold medal that he was destined to win. So, you never know when that time comes. Don't sacrifice a moment of giving your very best, because you don't know when your time is, when it's over. So be ready. Give your best. Now go out there this week, identify those areas where you're not giving your best, and now your task, your action step is those areas where you identified what not giving your best looks like, turn it around and give your best in those areas. Again, my name is Dennis LaRue. It is an honor to spend time with you. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Sunday, this same time, 8 p.m. Central, with the next hashtag Steel Toes Required quote of the week. Take care, and I am out.